Yep, hello there. It's Daniel Eric Williver, or Guillermo Gage again, and I am making this little short section of the video before the main portion of the video because in the main portion of this video, which is going to cover um, October 31st and then November 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, yeah. I didn't talk about the plastic usage. It was pretty small amount of plastic usage. Um, that was November 1st, I used this much plastic, and then November 5th, I used this much plastic. And so today is November 8th. It's the evening of November 8th, 8:47 p.m. And now I'm going to go on to the next part of the video because so far this is my plastic usage so far this month. Yep, hello there. This is Daniel Eric or Williver or Guillermo Gage. And right now it is 8:06 a.m., about to be 8:07 a.m. on 2025, November 8th, which is a Saturday. And now I gotta make this video that covers an 8-day period. Yeah, that's the Halloween night of October 31st, and then November 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and then the November 7th that just ended. Just like 8 hours and 7 minutes ago. Um, so that was November 7th. It's now November 8th. So it's the morning of November 8th now. Yeah. And well, the Halloween night, I ended up watching the motion picture Late Night with the Devil, and I'm kind of like not making like video reviews and stuff, because I still gotta like figure out like the balance of like getting like sleep and then like being able to like find a proper block of time to like do the push-ups. I ended up eventually doing push-ups, but for November for the Halloween night, I watched a Late Night with the Devil. I ended up finishing it like it was like November 1st by the time the movie was done because I started it later, and I much liked it. Yeah, and I first heard about it like around March of 2024 when I first heard that it was coming out, and I thought, hey, if then Halloween came and went from last year. I thought, hey, maybe next year, maybe I'll try to watch that movie on the Halloween night of like 2025, and I ended up watching it. And pretty entertaining movie. It's kind of like a found footage movie, but of like a live TV broadcast of like late night TV show host like inviting like psychics and like people who like um contact like the devil and like contact like a possessed girl like this 13 something year old possessed girl, and they try to attempt to show it live, like a live attempt, live seance, contact type of thingy. um and Yeah, it was pretty amusing, and I like how it shows it what happens like when they cut to commercial and behind the scenes and whatnot, between commercial breaks, or no, before and after commercial breaks. And and they make that part of the movie like black and white. So that's like the behind the scenes type of stuff. When the broadcast part isn't happening, and it's a pretty amusing movie. It's a kind of it's kind of got even some funny kind of morbid moments and whatnot. And yeah, so ugh, I'm sorry. I've been trying to catch up on whatever sleep. Okay, so that was Halloween night. I actually end up eating like most of that candy that I showed. It's like the sugar free. It creates interesting bowel movements when you eat a lot of the sugar free candy. Well, amusing. Yeah, I'd say bowel movements. Farts and whatnot. Um, and so November 1st, I saw K-pop Demon Hunters. Yeah, I watched the movie K-pop Demon Hunters finally. They showed it in the movie theater back in August. And I was like, I wonder if they're gonna. Then I found out, oh, they're gonna do an encore presentation. Um, I was like, oh, maybe I'm gonna try and see it. But I wanted to watch it on the TV at home, which is exactly what it did. On November 1st, I watched it on the TV at home, and I quite liked it, And then just like that very same night, I went to the movie theater inside. There were only five other people, which is like, okay, November 1st at like an 8 to 10 p.m. showing. This is the second like attempt to show it in the movie theaters, and it was amusing. I liked it. I think it was cute. And I like the songs. And I was wondering, are they going to show the Netflix logo on it here? Because it was originally made by like Sony Pictures Animation, but then the rights got bought out by Netflix. And yeah, they showed that Netflix logo on there. And it was a cute movie, and I like the songs. Yeah. And I like it how like um I like it's kind of like a more interesting take on the like whole Frozen formula about like this young female character has like this um secret heritage past thingy, and it's pretty cute. Yep. And I like it. And I like all three of the K-pop girl characters. All right then. And so here's November 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, yeah, and 7th. So what's happening here is that the November 2nd and 3rd is my thing with the second job. I did go back to the OCIA at church, and yeah, and yeah, and there's yeah, most people that were away showed back up again, and I did my then like 3 hours later I was doing my Walmart job. That's my second job, and then same with and then on Monday, I did that same second job. And so what's going on here? Am I doing anything productive? And fortunately it's not really, because Tuesday wait, yeah. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like again, I do get bogged down with like this feeling of sleepiness, and not because on Monday nights, I get off work like 11 p.m. Sometimes I'll stay up too late, and then I got to go into work on earlier on the Tuesday at my main job. And I keep like, when I get home, I get tired, and I have this issue with wanting to do push-ups, but I'm really tired. Like I gotta yawn, yawn, yawn. And the first thing I do is I worry and worry about not being able to have certain stuff done, which is make this video journal and then do something productive for the video journal. Um, and somehow I just end up on, like I said, you've heard me talk about Twitter, um, being bogged down by that. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, um, are not so great days. I'm trying to catch up and do the sleeping. Then Friday, I'm deciding like, okay. Friday I get home. It's like 6. Yeah, it's probably like 6:09 or 6:15 p.m. When I get home on Friday, which was just yesterday. And I was like, okay, I gotta try doing these push-ups. So I get home and I do uh, I have a meal like made out for me, and I have that, and um I help out with my cousin doing the setting up one of the little Roku players for the streaming box. I've got a few because of being a Walmart employee. I got a few a couple of free streaming services. My ma, who lives 70 miles away, she happens to also be a Walmart employee, and so we picked the opposite streaming services for Walmart Plus, Peacock, and Paramount. Which all this stuff doesn't really matter. I hardly use that, but it's a convenience. So I ended up setting that up again, and it's something to have in case there's something interesting to watch on there. Again, you can tell I'm not much of a TV watcher. I'm trying to develop interests and hobbies and stuff. So, but overall, the Friday. So here's the thing about the Friday. Getting sleepy, sleepy, sleepy. Then like I have to take like a full blown nap. And I think when I get back up, it's gonna be like 8 o'clock. I'm gonna do that. Actually, I end up being about to do push ups. I end up having I ended up spending a lot of time, and maybe maybe this had to be talked about. I spent a long time on a conversation with someone spending a long time conversing online. I'm venting about some issues that I've dealt with recently. Issues like with issues with a woman I've met before. Not to this person, but yeah. Oh yeah. I've yeah, I've had some issues the past 3 years. Issues with women the past 3 years. Like some of them are really like nuts and constantly just want money from you. And this is like an IRL thing, right? In real life type of thing. Someone I knew who I would like meet every like several months. Just we wouldn't even do anything. They weren't even. We wouldn't even go on dates or anything. We did go on a date once. But other times, like it's give me money, give me money. It's like okay, but you have to do something for me. You live 20 miles away. And so it would be like I'd meet at the lobby of her auntie's apartment or something, and then just talk about money. And then oh, one time I just had to hang out at a girl's job while she was working at a wing at a chicken wing restaurant, and I'd kind of hang out there. I finally broke away from that. Finally broke away from that. It's like 3 or so months ago. Yeah, because the girl finally made a lie that was like too ridiculous for me to trust, and the lie was that she went to jail for a week and wanted me to give her bail money, and I was like, I'm not freaking doing that. That's too ridiculous of a lie, and it's not even like a cute lie where like, okay, I wonder what really happened. And so I didn't give her bail money. And then she ended up getting out anyway because someone else ended up supposedly bailing her out. But of course, she was never in prison. She was never in the jail. Um, Supposedly, it was for like assaulting a cop or just slapping a cop around, and she claims that was a lie. Well, the whole thing is a lie. You can look up prison records to see if someone is in jail right now, and you wouldn't send her gal pal money via PayPal in order to pay. You would go to the bail bonds place, and if the deal was like, oh, I'll pay half, my cousin will pay half, and then she can pay, and then you can pay half. First off, $500 total is even for a first time offense. Yeah, assault on a cop is going to be way more than that. They just tried to, and they said, oh, you can pay 250 of the 500. Nope. Um, because that's the whole point is to try to think of a reasonable amount. That was 3 months ago, and it was just something I was thinking about. And fortunately, that was so ridiculous that it made me stop helping her. She still calls me like every once in a while um, on this number that's blocked. No, on a private number that I can't like block the private number. And sometimes I just hit reject. Sometimes I just try to hear her rant, and I'm like, nope, yeah, I've done like way too much for you, and I'm not going to give you more money. Bye. And I don't know. She should just move on to some other, simp or something. You know, if she wants somebody else to have a simp. But I ended up talking to a good deals, and I got tired again. It was only till 11 p.m. Actually, no, it was 11:52 p.m. Um, that I finally did the push-ups. This is what I wanted to do for a freaking week. Here's what it is. Um, November 7th, I did at November 7th at between 11:52 and 13 seconds and 11:56 and 16 seconds. This is like 4 minute period of time. I did push-ups. I did with the Bring Sally Up push-ups with the 10-pound backpack. It is 8 AOML, 4 AOML, 4 AOML. So I made it to the third AOML or AOML after Old Miss Lucy. The push-ups you do after the Old Miss Lucy's dead and gone left me here to weep and moan line from the Bring Sally Up push-ups. So I did those, and then my knee hit the ground after doing that third AOML. Then I tried doing more, and it's exponentially less. Then I do 3, then knee hits the ground, 2, knee hits the ground, then another 3, then knee hits the ground, and then 2. And I figure, I stop once I can only do like 3 or less, then 3 or less, and then 2 or less. And so those 2, 3, 2 are the 3 or less, and then 2 or less, or 2 or less. And it's a 3 or less, or the 3 or less, or the 2 or less. Yeah. So it's like 3, 3, 2, or 2, 2, 2, or 2, 3, 2. First two got to be 3 or less, and the third one's got to be like 2 or less. All right, then. That's all I got to say for now. I just got to head out to work. It's kind of a boring video, but I really think I'm going to turn it around today. I think what it is if I am just too sleepy, if I'm too sleepy to do push-ups, or I just can't eke them out because I'm yawn, I just shouldn't do anything else. Or I should just try to do them and get it out of the way so it's not bogging me down. That way, I won't just like try to follow current events on Twitter or argue on Twitter. Because I have to have things happening in my real life before I can care about the outside world. All right, then. Bye for now.